Welcome fellow Bluenoses, welcome to Bluenose On The Bench. My name is Josh, this is my new YouTube podcast channel and we are here to talk about everything to do with Birmingham City and whatever else is going on in the footballing world, but the majority of this will be based on Birmingham City Football Club. So, I hope you have had a good start to 2024, I hope you've had a good new year, happy new year, and if you're interested in sticking around, if you're new to seeing me on this YouTube scene, then make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and let's get talking about Blues. So, today's topic, Wayne Rooney has been let go or sacked from Birmingham City Football Club, and we are now currently on a manhunt to look for the next manager to take the reins at the club. I completely agree with the fact that Wayne Rooney has been let go. I didn't like the idea of him coming into the club in the first place. I had a feeling he weren't going to do very well due to his track record. As a player, he was absolutely incredible, but players don't make great managers. It's two different aspects to, obviously, a football club. One being that you have somewhat control over what you do as a player, but when it comes to actually managing a football club, there's a hell of a lot more to do. And to be honest, Wayne Rooney hasn't got that experience. And to be fair, let's get into it. Derby, okay. They had a points deduction. They got relegated. But it's hit and miss with how you feel about that. Then he moved on to DC United in the MLS. Didn't really have a solid track record there either. It wasn't really a validated point for me for him to come and take the reins of Birmingham City, being that we're in the Championship and obviously his track record. So that is my point of view. This channel is going to be hopefully somewhat unbiased. I am going to be open and honest with my views. Obviously, please don't hate on it. At the end of the day, everyone's entitled to an opinion. I will take your opinion in as much as obviously I will put my opinion out. So if you are here for the long run, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and hit me up in the comments with what your views are, and hopefully we can get around to them in the podcast. So yeah, what I'm going to be talking about is how Tom Wagner, Gary Cook managed to get Wayne Rooney into Blues in the first place. Honestly, it's beyond me. I don't understand how we managed to get Wayne Rooney to join our club. I don't know why he joined the club. And to be honest, I don't even know why we got rid of Eustace. I was really upset when we did get rid of him, considering we had such a strong start. I did go to that game and I did vlog my experience at the first home game of the season against Leeds, where we won 1-0. The atmosphere was strong, the players were strong, and to be honest, I thought Eustace brought the whole club and the fans together. Something that us Birmingham City fans haven't done in a very long time. And I believe that that was all thrown out the window when they decided that there was a misalignment between Eustace and the board. And then to get Wayne Rooney in, which from what I heard was only to have an increase in our youth academy to get a better name in, a world-class ex-football star. It wasn't a very well validated point for me to have him come in when we need somebody that's going to take over, that's going to give us stability within all aspects of it all. So I know it's a project, and I know some people agree with the fact of Wayne Rooney leaving. Some people don't. I think I read a statistic earlier that 94% of Birmingham City fans were happy and says that it was his time to go, and he shouldn't have stayed any longer. But I know there are a few fans out there that have said that they would have liked to see who he brought in for the January transfer. That's a fair point. However, I don't really want to see a manager who's only won 2 games out of 15 that he's been in. The kind of manager that blames the team rather than himself for his mistakes. I mean, to come off of a field, and mind my French, but from what I heard, he said to the players, "You all need to grow a pair of bollocks." If I was one of his players, I wouldn't want to play for him, to be honest. And then to turn around and say after, half-time at the Stoke game, if I had the choice of being able to substitute all 11 players off at half-time, I would have. How are you meant to have much faith in your team? I mean, the whole thing's been divided now. Like I say, Eustace brought us all together, and now that's all been pissed up the wall, and we've got to try and work our way back again. as Birmingham City fans, it's something we're probably used to, but it's something that we want to get out of the feeling of being used to. So I'm looking at the manager odds of currently what keeps changing. So as you'll be able to see here, these odds are looking quite fruity. So I know in the pipeline, Steve Cooper is meant to be the biggest one that we're talking about. As of at the minute, it's probably quite promising, but it is a lot of speculation. Eustace has also said that he'd be open and interested into coming back. And to be fair, I would welcome him back with open arms. I have no issue with him coming back. I know a few people have said he's got a boring play style. You know, we don't go backwards. But for the rest of the season, we could do with stability. Like I said, Eustace provided us with that stability. And to be perfectly honest, I think he was the right man for the job. But whether the board will accept going backwards and whether they'll swallow their pride and say, yeah, okay, we did make a big mistake and we shouldn't have got rid of Eustace, is another thing. So it'll be interesting to see who we actually get. Gary Rower, he was a brilliant manager for us, but I wouldn't go back to him now because it's been a bit too far. He did do us a good run. He could be good and he could give the team stability, but I don't know who he'd bring in for us. I don't know how our team would fit now with the squad that we've got, with his plans. Tony Mowbray would be brilliant to get, considering how he's, won over the past few years, got teams promoted, stuff like that. And Jesse Marsh, another good one. I wouldn't say, actually, to be honest, this list for the manager odds for our next manager is actually that bad. I think that has been the strongest manager lineup that we've had for a while. I mean, along the likes of Karanka that we've had, Pep, Clotet, and I think I said his name wrong. Is Clotet in it? And stuff like that. Like that is a strong lineup, and I cannot see why one of these wouldn't come back. I mean, or come to the club even. But at the same time, it is the board, and they might want something fresh and new and different. So we'd have to see how we get on with that. But yeah, that is my take on the manager. Really, if I was going to select one out of that list, I probably would either go Steve Cooper or I'd go John Eustace to come back. But I wouldn't have any... If one of them to work come in over any of the others, I would obviously jump on board with it. I'd back them. I did try and back Rooney when he was here, but even though I didn't think it was going to work before he even stepped foot on the grass or before he even signed that contract, when it was all speculation before Eustace was let go, I did try and get on board with him. But I knew it wasn't going to go because he hasn't got that managerial experience. So I'd welcome one of them with open arms, and I would actually say that I would get on board and I would keep right on with them. So it's just all, whether it's all going to come back and bite us on the arse again now and end up in a typical Blues situation, or whether we're actually going to come back and start kicking ass against the teams again and look strong again. And I'm hoping it's the second one, to be honest, because I can't do with all this again with Blues. It's a bit hit and miss. So, like I say, this is my opinion. You'll have to let me know what you think. But whatever you think, I'll be interested to hear. So make sure you leave your views in the comments. I'm just looking at here now. We're just reading through what a few people have said or what a couple of news articles are saying about Wayne Rooney. So it's got Wayne Rooney's record and stats here. So in the 15 matches under Rooney's management, he secured wins in only 2, while settling for 4 draws and facing defeat in the other 9. So you've got 2 wins, 4 draws and 9 defeats in 15 games. 13% win rate. That's atrocious. It is actually atrocious. I don't know why that I mean, that's worse than what it was in the MLS and Derby. It's frustrating. It's just so frustrating. Like we were in 6th. We dropped to 20th. And now it's going to be a struggle. I mean, I'm hoping that they have... I want them to come out with a new manager, because I'm on the edge like everybody else is. Who's going to be the next Birmingham City manager? Are they going to be better? This, that, and the other. I'm on board with that. I'm feeling the same as probably everyone else, but at the same time, I want them to take the time, because I want them to take a cool, calm, collected decision with who's actually going to take charge and actually think about it properly. I don't want anything to be, causing issues that we don't really need. So there is a couple of videos out, Talk Sport and stuff like that, just talking about what they thought about Rooney while he was at the club. So we're just going to give that a quick watch.
Unconfirmed reports that Wayne Rooney has parted company or is set to be sacked by Birmingham City. Various outlets going with this now. Various outlets pointing to the fact that it's been 2 wins from 15 games in charge for Wayne Rooney since he took over from John Eustace, who parted company with Birmingham City when they were 6th. Now Birmingham City are 20th. And of course, Simon, as we stress, there is no agenda on your part. There has never been. I tried to stress that to Wayne when I met him. I think it was at Peterborough last season. And life goes on, and I'm sure it will. But at the meantime, results and positions in the league table doesn't lie, and it tells you where Birmingham City have got to. Birmingham City fans last month were coming on in numbers saying, no, this is Wayne Rooney. He deserves more time. I wonder, and I ask you again, I wonder if you think that today. 03717 22 33 44. Simon, you've been strong on this from the get-go. You've said, look, the owners at Birmingham City have got to have very good reason, more than reason of, well, it's Wayne Rooney, global star Wayne Rooney, to put him in charge of Birmingham City. And you quite rightly have stuck to that. That sadly, in the time he's been there has been nothing much else to stress. Look, it's Wayne. And Wayne the manager is Wayne the manager, and he'll do the job. There's been nothing to indicate that he will.
That's the decision-making process that you have to make as an owner. You have to look at the reality of who you're employing. You're not employing an image. You're not employing a former player. They're all former players, obviously, but you're employing a manager, and a manager whose job is to control everything in the football operation. There was nothing about this decision that smacked to me of anything other than some form of autograph hunting and perception. Now, he may well have interviewed very well. And again, I take no satisfaction from it. But there's nothing about this particular circumstance that surprises me. And it's on the owners, by the way. This is on the owners.
Yes, yeah. And you've stressed that all along, Simon, to be fair to you. Ian Danter, of course, TalkSport's Midlands correspondent, is across it. Ian, good morning to you. Unconfirmed reports, but we're hearing that Wayne is set to go today. You hearing the same?
Yes, I'm hearing the same from several different sources. It would appear to be the case that their patience has finally snapped. I think Gary Cook would rather have kept Wayne on for the entire season, regardless of where Birmingham finished, provided they finished outside of the relegation zone. But I think the defeat to Leeds yesterday was too much, and I think Gary Cook has been advised this is what you need to do, and it would appear confirmation is going to come from the club later this morning.
Why would Gary Cook want or feel the necessity to stay with Wayne Rooney for the rest of the season?
I think probably just because he believes in him, Simon. I don't think it's any more than just a desire that he wants. He's a friend of Wayne's. He's a friend of Wayne's.
I was going to say, it's not the fact that he believes him. It's the fact that he's mates with him. He's been wanting to bring him into the club since he was 16. Get out of it! I can see through you.
Stretford, and I think he just wanted it so badly for Wayne that he was prepared to cut him the slack that maybe managers like John Eustace, Wayne's predecessor, did not have. I think it's pure and simple a friendship thing that has made it more difficult for Gary to make that decision to cut ties, and that's.
Well, that must be great for the owners to have a chief executive that has no real objectivity in the decision-making process. What a poor decision he's made, and he's trying to double down on it.
That's my impression of what's going on, Simon, and whether that is actually the case, Gary would have to, let us all know why this is dragged on and why the appointment was made in the first place. Because, as you know, this has been in the actual appointment was in the post a good month or two before it actually happened.
Yes, yeah, good point, Ian. Yeah,
it seemed that we were just waiting for the MLS season to finish, and as soon as that finished, suddenly, lo and behold, John Eustace is dismissed and Wayne is brought in. So it seems that this has been a fait accompli since the late summer. So
Ian, I know you've been close to it, and I know you are close to it. What do you make of Rob, who's a regular listener to this show? He's saying this morning, look, we're all agreed, an amazing player, Rooney, but he just doesn't come across as a manager at all. His last interview, he was talking about getting new players in, but why can't he coach and improve the ones that he inherited?
I will preach that to this day. What a point, what a way to put it across, right? A good manager will work with what he's got and try and build a good, trusted relationship with his team to get them going. And that is what Eustace had with this team. Now, from the get-go, Rooney wanted to just bring in loads more players that he thinks, oh yeah, well, I can get on board with these. It's like he turned around and went, I want to clear out of Eustace's squad. I want to bring my own squad in. And I want to do what I can with them. He was immediately not there with our club and our team. A real manager would deal with the situation that he's in at the time and not looking just for the January transfer window. To me, Wayne's come in and he's gone, yeah, well, the lads ain't doing what I want them to do. You know, they're all basically need to push up. They need to have this no fear football and grow a pair of balls. I'm sorry, it don't work like that. That's not how the squad's been working. And to be fair, Eustace's play style might have been boring, but it worked. And you can't argue with results. And like Rooney said in his letter when he was leaving, it's a results-based business. So he contradicted himself there, but I do completely agree. I think they only brought Wayne Rooney in because of the autographs, the payday. They want to build a brand out of Birmingham City as well as get us up into the Premier League. But to be honest, I think they're focusing too much on the brand aspect and not the whole picture where we need to get ourselves back up into the top flight as well. Granted, it's not going to take straight away what you want them to take. However, it will take... It's going to take probably a couple of seasons, a couple of years to actually get into a good position like Newcastle, like West Ham, right? I'm not going to say like Man City and that because that's just next level. But to actually become a good competitive team, it's going to take a few seasons. However, we need a manager that is going to work with us from the get-go, not wait for the transfer window and be like, yeah, I'm going to get all these players in and just get these ones out. They need to work with what they've got. And Wayne Rooney was the wrong person for me for that. So I do completely agree with that. Obviously, I'm not going to watch all of the TalkSport because I'm not going to just read off of them. But as of yet, there's no actual real conversation or speculation of who's actually going to be at Birmingham City. It's all just obviously odds and whatever people are basically grasping from everything. I do believe that there hasn't been an update on any of it yet. I don't think there's been any news at all, and I don't think there will be any news now, being that it is near enough late on the night. No, all 1 day ago, 6 hours ago, just starting about the odds. Yeah, so there's no actual real, strong lead yet on who's actually going to be the next Birmingham City manager. So, but like I said, I'll be happy for a Eustace return. I'd be happy for any of them managers that are lined up. Steve Cooper would be a good one. Like, you know, that whole lineup on that odds that I've just seen, which I know there is a few more on there, like Lee Carsley and stuff like that. But I think that list that I've just got up is quite strong, and I think I could get on board with any of them. So, personally, that would That'd be good for my opinion on how Blues will work. But like I say, if you've got a different opinion or if you agree, just drop your comment down in the comment section underneath and just tell me what you think. And like I say, maybe I can get round to doing another podcast before the manager is announced or whatnot, and we can talk about it, and we'll interlink it into the next podcast. But thank you for being here for my first episode of Bluenose on the Bench. It has been a short one, but to be honest, I don't waffle too much. I do waffle a lot, but not too much. But yeah, just let me know what you think in the comments. And if you want to stick around and join this podcast and join this bench with me, then hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and I will see you in the next episode of Bluenose on the Bench. It's been Josh. See you later, and keep right on.